Welcome to Sustainability Trends in Mining and Minerals, a comprehensive exploration of ESG reporting, environmental strategies, and innovation among North America's top 100 mining and minerals companies. In one of the world's most resource-intensive industries, sustainability is no longer a choice, it's a mandate. Stakeholders are demanding more accountability, investors are shifting toward ESG-focused portfolios, and governments are tightening regulations. This presentation, part of the White Paper series in Management Education by Skilled MBA, provides strategic insights and best practices that can help companies lead the way in responsible mineral extraction. Let's begin by outlining the scope and purpose of this presentation. Our objective is fourfold. First, we identify the prevalent sustainability frameworks used across the mining sector, revealing which standards are gaining traction. Second, we pinpoint the key ESG priorities shaping operational and strategic decisions, especially around environmental and community concerns. Third, we highlight innovation and best practices, from carbon neutrality to circular economy models. And finally, we provide strategic direction to help organizations enhance their sustainability performance and reporting quality, aligning operations with evolving global standards and stakeholder expectations. The environmental footprint of mining is enormous, but change is underway. Many mining companies are setting net zero targets, using electrified fleets, renewable power, and carbon offsets to reduce emissions. These commitments signal a serious intent to transition toward carbon neutrality. Reforestation and site rehabilitation are also gaining momentum, transforming once-scarred landscapes into biodiverse, functioning ecosystems. And finally, biodiversity protection is becoming central to operational planning. Companies are creating buffer zones, conducting ecological surveys, and reducing habitat fragmentation as part of a more responsible mining model. This is a shift from extraction to environmental stewardship, one that's long overdue. Water and waste, two of mining's biggest environmental challenges, are now areas of rapid innovation. Closed-loop water systems are minimizing freshwater withdrawal by recycling up to 90% of processed water, particularly in arid regions. Tailings dam safety, a major concern after past failures, is being improved with real-time monitoring and advanced engineering standards. Innovative companies are also leading in waste reprocessing, turning mine tailings into usable materials. A win for both profitability and the planet. And finally, watershed protection is no longer just an environmental concern. It's a reputational and operational priority, especially for companies operating near vulnerable communities. Sustainability isn't just environmental, it's also deeply social. Local workforce development is empowering communities through skills training, helping residents transition into sustainable jobs that outlive the mine life cycle. Capacity-building programs help small businesses meet industry procurement standards, fueling local economic ecosystems. Stakeholder collaboration is evolving too. From transactional meetings to multi-stakeholder forums that include Indigenous leaders and local voices in governance processes. And through educational partnerships, mining companies are funding scholarships and investing in schools, building long-term relationships grounded in mutual benefit. This is about moving from extraction to engagement and from presence to partnership. Technology is not just modernizing mining, it's making it sustainable. Automation and robotics reduce human exposure to hazards, improve precision, and lower emissions. IoT sensor networks now monitor everything: air quality, water usage, tailings stability, equipment performance, in real time. AI and predictive analytics are optimizing energy usage, flagging maintenance needs, and identifying risks before they happen. And renewable energy integration, through solar, wind, and battery systems, is reducing reliance on diesel and cutting GHG emissions. The future of sustainable mining is digital, data-driven, and deeply integrated. Governance is the glue that holds ESG strategy together. The use of global frameworks like GRI, SASB, and TCFD is growing. These standards enable meaningful comparison, increase transparency, and build trust. Companies are adopting enhanced disclosure practices, sharing not just highlights, but also challenges and context, making their reports more credible and investor-friendly. Third-party verification is also rising. Independent audits of ESG performance are becoming table stakes for securing capital, building community trust, and protecting reputations. Sustainability reporting isn't just about compliance, it's about strategic clarity and operational integrity. Despite strong progress, the mining industry faces four major ESG challenges. First, regulatory complexity. Jurisdictions around the world have differing rules, making it difficult for companies to stay compliant across multiple sites. That's why many are now aligning to international frameworks that exceed local regulations, creating a global standard internally. Second, high capital expenditure. Sustainable technologies require upfront investment. In response, companies are tapping into green bonds and sustainability-linked loans, tying financing to ESG performance. Third, data and reporting gaps persist. Without consistent metrics, comparisons are unreliable. To address this, industry-wide standardization initiatives are gaining momentum. And finally, community tensions. Disputes over land and resource use continue to disrupt operations. Early engagement and benefit-sharing agreements are becoming essential to secure long-term social license. These challenges demand both strategy and collaboration. One of the most effective moves a mining company can make is to adopt international sustainability frameworks. Frameworks like GRI, SASB, and TCFD provide a clear structure for measuring, monitoring, and disclosing ESG performance. They also enable comparison, which investors and regulators increasingly demand. It starts with a materiality assessment to understand which issues matter most to stakeholders. Then, companies invest in systems that ensure robust data collection. But the key is transparency. The best reports go beyond success stories. They include context, limitations, and lessons learned. This level of openness earns trust and builds long-term credibility. Sustainability isn't sustainable if communities are left behind. Pre-development consultation, before a shovel hits the ground, shows respect and builds rapport. Formalized agreements clarify shared responsibilities, including benefits like education, healthcare, or infrastructure support. Throughout the project, ongoing dialogue ensures concerns are heard and addressed. Companies are creating joint working groups that co-manage local environmental monitoring and grievance resolution. This proactive approach doesn't just minimize risk, it creates genuine partnerships. In today's world, community trust is just as important as regulatory approval. Digital innovation is accelerating sustainability across the mining lifecycle. Remote sensing, including satellites and drones, now enables real-time monitoring of ecosystems and site conditions, from vegetation loss to dust emissions. Smart equipment with embedded sensors helps optimize fuel use and reduce downtime, while tracking performance metrics that feed into ESG dashboards. Integrated data platforms allow decision-makers to access environmental, social, and operational data in one place, supporting faster, smarter, and more sustainable decisions. Automation not only boosts efficiency, it reduces worker exposure to dangerous conditions, enhancing both safety and sustainability. The bottom line: mining that's smarter is also cleaner, safer, and more transparent. You can't manage what you don't measure. Leading mining firms are now setting clear, quantifiable ESG targets. Let's look at a few. A 42% average carbon reduction target by 2030 among top performers, 90% water recycling rates in high-risk areas, 100% waste repurposing goals, turning tailings into building materials or backfill, and a collective $25 billion industry-wide investment in ESG initiatives through 2030. These numbers are more than marketing. They're benchmarks tied to accountability, often linked directly to executive compensation. Clear targets signal seriousness, guide operational priorities, and create a roadmap for measurable improvement. True sustainability requires people, not just policies. Employee education is foundational. From top executives to on-site contractors, everyone must understand environmental goals, risks, and practices. Contractor alignment is key. Companies are embedding ESG requirements into procurement contracts and onboarding processes, ensuring that third parties uphold the same standards. And for communities, capacity building is vital. Local stakeholders are being trained to participate in environmental monitoring and data collection, giving them agency and accountability. This investment in people builds not just awareness, but ownership, turning sustainability into a shared mission across the ecosystem. Why does this all matter? Because sustainability isn't just about reputation. It's about resilience and returns. Investor confidence is rising for companies with ESG maturity. These companies secure better financing terms and attract long-term capital. Risk mitigation becomes real when environmental violations, protests, or shutdowns are minimized. Sustainability reduces regulatory headaches and the downtime that comes with them. Operational efficiency improves as energy use, waste, and water are reduced, which cuts costs and improves margins. And yes, reputation still matters for community relations, government licensing, and talent attraction. Sustainability is no longer a nice to have. It's a core driver of value creation. In conclusion, we issue a simple but urgent call to action. Sustainability in mining is a strategic imperative, not just a compliance checkbox. Companies that lead in ESG will shape the future of the industry, unlock new markets, and earn trust across the value chain. Whether you're a mining executive, investor, regulator, or educator, now is the time to act. We invite you to download the full white paper for deeper insights, case studies, and frameworks to guide your journey toward ESG leadership in mining. Let's build an industry that's not only productive, but also responsible, transparent, and resilient. Thank you for being part of this journey.